On our planet Earth, a total of 340 billion trees exist. And you'll be shocked to know that every year, 1% of these trees are used by the world's largest furniture brand, IKEA. Every year, 30 billion trees. And with every passing second, 963 trees are used in IKEA's furniture. But who would believe that IKEA's billion-dollar business empire actually began with just a few matchboxes? The boy who couldn't even remember the names of things. How did that weakness turn into his greatest strength? Welcome back once again to iFlare Videos. Viewers, the name of this boy was Ingvar Kamprad. He did his very first business at the age of only 6 years. His family noticed that this child was very different from others and had a natural ability for business. His grandmother gave him 88 Swedish cents, with which Ingvar bought 100 matchboxes. And to encourage him, his very first customer was also his grandmother, who bought one matchbox for 3 cents. Soon, neighbors also started buying matches from him, and just like that, his first investment tripled, turning into 3 Swedish krona. It wasn't much, but this experience gave Ingvar a burning passion to buy things cheap and sell them for more. While other kids in their growing age were busy enjoying themselves, Ingvar sold household items, and every time he doubled or tripled his investment, instead of wasting the profit, he reinvested it. When he was sent to school, doctors noticed strange symptoms in him. He was diagnosed with dyslexia, a condition that makes reading and remembering difficult. But besides studies, Ingvar kept running his small shop even in school. He sold pencils, watches, and belts to his classmates. He even made his very first big profit in life by selling 500 pencils at school. At the age of 17, when Ingvar completed his graduation, his father gifted him money to register a trading company. In 1943, this company was officially registered, and it was named IKEA. The I and K represented Ingvar Kamprad. The letter E came from Elmtred, the name of his family farm. And the final A stood for Agunnaryd, the name of his village. It was not a physical shop, not even an office, just a virtual trading company with most of its focus on delivery. Ingvar simply sold the same items he had been selling since childhood. All he had was a small shed where he packed orders. But who could have imagined that this small shed would one day grow into a billion-dollar empire? In the early days of IKEA, Ingvar sold pens, wallets, and other small imported items. At 17 years old, his business was already running well. But the challenge was these same products were also available in other physical stores, which meant people would only buy through mail order if the price was lower or the product was unique. To solve this, Ingvar began market research. He listed products that were cheap to manufacture but sold for higher prices. He couldn't understand why a pen that cost 1 Swedish cent to produce was being sold in grocery stores for 10 cents. While boys his age wanted freedom, Ingvar was busy doing deep market research. He concluded products were indeed cheap at factories, but the real problem was at the distribution end. By the time a product reached a grocery store, the price went way up. So the only way to succeed in this competitive market was to cut costs in distribution and transport. That required planning and hard work. So far, he had not included furniture in his catalog. But in 1948, after World War II, the Swedish government began building new houses, and the demand for cheap furniture skyrocketed. This was Ingvar's golden opportunity to add furniture to his product catalog. Slowly, furniture sales overtook everything else. He bought cheap furniture from local manufacturers, added a profit margin, and sold them. But remember, Ingvar had dyslexia. He couldn't remember product codes. So instead, he gave each furniture item a simple, unique name in the catalog, something easy for him to recall when orders came. Customers also found it much easier to order with real names instead of codes. This small change boosted IKEA's sales massively. Among so many companies, there was only one way to win orders: offer lower prices. But lowering prices usually meant compromising on quality, and many companies were already doing that. Because of this, the reputation of mail-order companies was falling. That's when Ingvar made a bold decision to open IKEA's very first physical store. Here, he would display furniture physically, This would cut delivery costs drastically, because now customers could directly visit the store and buy. Also, customers who didn't trust mail-order quality could now see for themselves before purchasing. As a marketing strategy, Ingvar even offered customers free Swedish meatballs. In 1953, when IKEA's first store opened, the crowd exceeded all expectations. Nearly 1,000 people lined up outside, because everyone needed to furnish the new homes given by the Swedish government. Ingvar's strategy was working. He still mailed catalogs, but the physical store drew customers directly in. IKEA became the first mail-order company to also build its own store. Next to the store, Ingvar even built a pool, turning IKEA into a tourist spot in town. Families came for an outing and left with shopping bags. IKEA was climbing the ladder of success rapidly. But Ingvar didn't know other furniture dealers were about to become his biggest obstacle. By the 1950s, IKEA was growing too fast, and Swedish furniture dealers couldn't digest it. While they still stuck to the old mail-order model, IKEA was unbeatable with low prices. The dealers tried everything to stop IKEA. First, they banned IKEA from selling at trade fairs, because whenever IKEA had a stall, it was the most crowded, not only because they had catalogs, but because IKEA showed real furniture there. Then, dealers even pushed for a ban on price listings and catalogs, since IKEA's were always the lowest. But Ingvar fought back. He organized his own trade fairs, where no one could stop him. In retaliation, dealers threatened IKEA suppliers. If you sell to IKEA, we'll stop buying from you. Terrified, suppliers cut ties with IKEA. This was a direct attack, and it hit IKEA's sales hard. But Ingvar came up with a new strategy. Where other retailers paid suppliers in 3 months, IKEA announced it would pay in just 10 days. Suppliers, tempted by fast cash, secretly began supplying IKEA, sometimes even at night. Meanwhile, IKEA also designed its own products and began sourcing wooden chairs from Poland, something no other retailers could imagine. So instead of weakening IKEA, the boycott only made it stronger. One day, an IKEA employee noticed a customer struggling to fit a table into his car. It simply wouldn't fit. The employee suggested, why not remove the legs? This idea completely changed IKEA's future. Detachable legs made tables compact and easy to transport. Ingvar immediately made it the backbone of his business. Flat-pack furniture was born. Now, furniture was easier and cheaper to store and transport. Damage risks fell, and customers could take their furniture home the same day. They assembled it themselves, building a stronger emotional connection to it. This innovation went viral, so much that people began calling it the IKEA effect. For the first time in history, disassembled furniture entered the industry, and today, it's used worldwide. After the success of the first store, Ingvar built a new, much bigger one near Stockholm. It was massive, 8 football fields in size, spread across 3 floors. He studied customer psychology to design the layout. 1 entrance, 1 exit. Shoppers had to walk through the entire store, ensuring they didn't miss a single item, which meant they often bought things they hadn't planned. IKEA's layout was designed to keep customers inside longer. But there was a problem. At lunchtime, the store emptied. Ingvar realized customers left for lunch and didn't return. So he built a restaurant inside IKEA. The plan worked perfectly. Customers stayed longer, ate inside, and kept shopping. Now Ingvar had a business model that only needed replication. In 1965, a new store opened, attracting 18,000 visitors on the first day alone. By 1973, IKEA was extremely successful. But Ingvar wanted IKEA's name to live on even after him. He made a plan, one that would soon earn him accusations of tax evasion. Yes, Ingvar dreamed his children would inherit IKEA. But in Sweden, inheritance taxes were extremely high. To solve this, he hired top lawyers around the world. For 7 years, they built shell companies, foundations, and trusts in tax havens. Finally, IKEA's corporate structure became so complex, taxation was nearly impossible. But this move brought allegations of tax evasion against IKEA. As the saying goes, when someone rises, the world tries to pull them down. In the 1980s, another allegation struck. Some East German factories that supplied IKEA furniture were found to be using forced prison labor. People blamed IKEA. When the claims were proven, IKEA management issued a public apology. Despite controversies, IKEA expanded rapidly. By the 1990s, more than 70 new stores opened. And by 2008, IKEA became the world's largest furniture company. In 2018, Ingvar Kamprad passed away at the age of 91. Today, IKEA has 473 stores worldwide. Every year, more than 2,000 new products are launched. And to this day, every product is given a Swedish name. A tradition Ingvar began, inspired by his battle with dyslexia. We hope you'll also like and share this iFlare video. Thank you so much for your kind comments. See you in the next amazing video.